Okay, guys, good morning to you, Brian. Good morning to you, Jerry and Fred. Good morning to all of you. All right. Get some water. Okay, today is the 28th of September. We are just a couple of days away from the end of September. We're going to get into October pretty soon, all right? We'll talk about the monthly movement shortly during the charting segment there. Okay, let's go. Now, today's caption, gentle reminder, inflation may not be transitory. All right, that is my caption for this morning. Now, why do I say that? Because, yes, indeed, Jerome Powell has finally came on board and tell that, okay, now that the inflation problem seems to be a little bit not that simple. Now, we can see it from far. We can see very weeks ago, in fact, months ago, that this will be a problem because we've been in the market for 20 years. I'm sure Jerome Powell is way, way more senior than me in financial market. So we know that, he knows that. But the only thing is that knowing his position, he has to technically be more subtle towards the whole thing, but you cannot deny that, okay, that this problem is going to come in, okay? I'll share with you more with this chart here itself. Now, this is the inflation problem since 1920s. Now, in 1920s, you can see that that was a time where deflation came in, okay? Then after that, in 1944, during the World War II, the Bretton Woods system is being established and it pegs the US dollar to gold. That was where the gold was pretty stabilized, okay? But as time goes by itself, right, okay, that is where, but in 1971, that is where inflation escalated. Now, do understand this, inflation escalated. And when it escalated, President Nixon said, you know what, you cannot continue saying this anymore. Let's look something to abandon the Bretton Woods system. And that was where the gold price shoot up. Okay, because that's where the dollar is no longer pegged to the system. And that is where the dollar really started to depreciate in value. And in 1979, the year I born, okay, Federal Reserve Chairman Paul Volcker introduced a bold anti-inflationary measure as inflation surged by 13%. Now, do note once again, US history, we ever came to that point. But very incredibly is this, okay? Since 1979 itself, you look carefully on the chart here, everybody, you can see that the inflation started to go down, right? Okay, but the US dollar, actually the value also declined at the same time. So somehow or rather, things doesn't really make sense, okay? Now, of course, there was some demand in the US dollar right now because of inflation of the pandemic, but that causes the inflation now to go higher. Okay, now you can see very clearly it's way above the Federal Reserve so-called 5%, I mean, so-called 2.9, 2.3%. They're looking at that level, but we can see right now it's much, much higher. So all the consumer CPI, how we utilize it is, these are the main 8 categories, which food and beverages, housing, apparel, education, medical care, recreation, and transportation and goods and services. But my point is this, I'm trying to explain to you is that somehow or rather, this chart doesn't make sense. And if you look carefully itself, right, if you look at a chart point, you can see that basically itself, right, okay, whenever the market starts to recover from a gradual decline, we could see this going up. And this is kind of expected, okay? Now, I don't expect a 10, 20%, but I'm very comfortable to tell you that I do expect to see at 5% easily. Because if you actually look at it across the board, right, everything is going up in prices. So I'm not half surprised to see inflation hitting the 5% mark. And that will going to push up the treasury yields higher, okay? So that is why I say that the US 10-year yield should be able to hit 1.6% rather easily, okay? All right, so the question is this, will Jerome Powell continue to pump in the steroids that's necessary to the bull market? Now, the bull market, we all know that have been going up for the last 13 years, okay? Since 2008, where we have the Lehman crisis, and until today itself with 13 years, the market have been going up non-stop, okay? Now, this is not healthy, and I've been saying this for quite a while already. But again, I've been also telling you that you keep on buying until this guy says stop. So apparently now, if you look carefully, Jerome Powell and friends actually slightly to pull the handbrake a bit by a bit. And this is actually very important information because You need to know all these to know your position for the market in the coming weeks. Okay. So disclaimer as usual, before we continue this morning, there's a lot of information to share with you. My job is to share with you my personal take. End of the day, you make your personal decision. All right. Disclaimer, bye. Now, our Hang Seng group is really getting a lot of popularity. Almost every day, we have about full class coming to the office. And it is okay. I have checked. Apparently, it's all right for people to come to the office. It's fine as long as you're vaccinated and fully vaccinated, obviously. And of course, you keep a distance. That is fine. And of course, students are pretty happy because they get to make money almost every day. All right. So do join for TWB students. If you're interested, do join us. Okay, you're gonna have lots of fun here. Okay, now last night we have the core durable goods coming at 0.2%. Now I told you the number will go down, and indeed it really happened. Now previously it was 0.8, but this time now, and the market was already forecasting 0.5, but the market came out 0.2. It's even lower than it is. So now I cannot deny this. I kind of suspect that the consumer confidence, right, will likely be going down further. I believe that the number is going to go down further. So now let's open the polls for today. All right. Winner will walk away with the ADA coin. Okay. Now the last time it's down, you snowballed to 6.8, right? But then of that, someone won it. Correct now. So now we're going to go back to 3.8 again. Okay. So what do you think will be tonight consumer confidence number? Now this is going to be very near. It's all very near numbers. So the only person that, okay, we had to go more precise. That means that you need to be precise. No plus minus. The person has to be precise to win this. Okay? Start your polling right now. What will be the consumer confidence? Okay, tonight. Okay? Winner takes 3.8 data point. Okay, okay, must be perfect. Yes. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have Michael, we have Brian, and how about the rest of you guys? Okay, I'll give you just 10 more seconds before we continue. 10. Now, I think that this conference board consumer confidence itself, right, basically tells you how to predict the consumer spending. And it's a major role in the overall economic activity. Obviously, a higher reading means a higher consumer optimism, and that means the market is bullish. So if the number is better than expected itself, right, usually it will inspire the dollar. But of course, if the number is kind of weak, the dollar will fall. And if the dollar falls itself, right, then naturally gold price may go higher. So that means that traders at today at 10 p.m. Do note that the data is at 10 p.m. and not 8:30. Do watch out for this figure, okay? All right, so we have quite a few people now trying to guess this. Okay, we're going to close the polls very shortly. Wow, I see a very low number by Stanley, 90.8. Wow, okay, that's a very, very low number. Okay, all right, I will just take on everybody's one. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can see that overall itself, right, it was escalating all the way up until July. And ever since then itself, right, the number has been coming down. So my number for today, my personal take is 108.8. Make a nice number there. That is my number, 108.8. That's my number, okay? So let's see whether I got it correct or who knows who I get correct, okay? All right, that's all for today. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so we'll see who's the winner tomorrow, okay? Now, do note, after that itself, right, at the same timing when the 10 p.m. the news came out, Jerome Powell will be testifying, all right, in front of Congress. I'll talk this later during one article, all right? Now, last night, the Dow Jones was up initially. It broke 35,000. And then after that, it gradually gave back some of the gains, but overall still stayed kind of positive. So traders, you can see that there is a lot of pump up movement. Then gradually, the take profit comes in. It seems that someone is trying to push out the market so that they can slowly release back can basically distribute. Like that's how I see from the market view. Because when the market is actually, if it's down initially, then the last part it recover, that is called accumulation most of the time. Because the market purposely push it down to buy it cheap. But if the market actually pump it up initially and bring it down as the day goes by, that is more towards distribution. So accumulation is because they expect the market to go higher. Distribution is that the market expects to go lower. So I'm not too sure how it looks like, but at least that's what I've been seeing right now the last few days. So the Dow Jones basically went up a little bit, as you can see, but the tech share was dragged down. Now, I told you before that the moment the US 10-year yields start to go higher, what we will see is that gradually itself, right, the Nasdaq will be affected, because Nasdaq actually is very related to they're very kind of sensitive to the 10-year yields and all the yields. Because once you increase interest rate or you reduces the amount of QE involved in the market, you can know that the last 2 years, when in order to recover from the pandemic, right, a lot of money, trillions of dollars being pumped into the system. The one market that definitely get itself well rewarded was the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq should be up by more than 100% during the same period. In fact, nearly 200%. So that's the reason why itself, if there's going to be anything going to affect the market, this is the one. That means that if the 10-year yields have to go higher and higher, right, most likely Nasdaq will fall further. And if Nasdaq fall further itself, right, there's also a very good chance that the Hang Seng market will also go down because of the kind of like technology-driven sector that both of them holds in a way. So watch out for this if you actually involved in Nasdaq. So overall itself, right, you can see that this is what happened in the summary side. And the 10-year yields briefly topping 1.5%. Okay, I told you it will hit 1.6% by end of this year, and it's really all happening right now. And you can see that since August the 2nd or the 1st, you can see that the 10-year yields have been basically bottoming out. And that was whereby I'm kind of telling people that this is going to happen. Now, if you look at it carefully now, if this is going to continue to happen, that means that there is a very fine good chance that this Michael Burry is actually correct for his bet against the US bonds. So now if the yields is going up itself, obviously the bond price is going to come down, right? So that is whereby you need to watch out about this. If he's going to be correct, then that means that whatever you expect in the market could be really detrimental. So that's the reason why I say I'm actually watching this very, very closely, okay? Now, of course, there's another, if you look at it on the same side, while one market is kind of going down, like consumer, the information technologies, the utilities going down, you can look at what is actually getting rewarded, which means that if let's say the yields goes up, which sector will benefit, right? So there are two main sectors that will benefit. The first sector that will benefit is, of course, the financial, because obviously, if let's say the yields are going up, the bank shares is going to get rewarded, right? That is where the financials is trying to recover, and that's why the Dow Jones went up yesterday. Energy will also be rewarded, because why? That means that when the yields goes up itself, right, inflation is actually going higher. Energy will be doing well. So that is what happened. Now, of course, if the inflation go way too high, then of course what will happen naturally? Then what will happen is that both sectors will come down. But prior to that point, these two sectors will benefit first. So I cannot deny this. Some bank stocks, some energy stock will be doing pretty okay. All right. So got the idea now? Pretty cool stuff, right? Okay, and of course, the thing is this, we are expecting this Nancy Pelosi, she expecting the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill to pass this week, but the voting on the legislation seemingly is pushing it back. Now, of course, they need to do that so that, okay, they can actually, try to increase or suspend the debt ceiling in October, which is like, next month. If not, it will default. But I think you must understand that these things have been seen this many times. This is more than 13 times we have seen US, agency shutting down. And do note that although they shut down, right, there's initially some worry, but usually during this period of time, look at it, the last 13 years, the markets still go up. So even have this debt ceiling problem, they will likely find a way to just get it out of it. All right, so don't need to worry too much. Okay, so let's cover up what happened yesterday, okay? Now, this is actually almost incredible and stunningly good, okay? Because you can look at what happened is that this is the Dow Jones yesterday. The opening price is here. It was between the two pivot, okay? Then we know that the KSI is red. So if the KSI is red, if it goes up, right, we know that it will be kind of it will be able to go down to KTR +1. But to go to KTR +2 will be kind of tough, okay? We don't talk about KTR +3, okay? And the thing is this, you can see that yesterday the high was 35,053. It misses the pivot one by 4 points. And then after that, it basically just U-turn and come back. All right, so let's take a look what happened on the intraday movement. As you can see, pretty clear that the market really went up initially. So it went up initially, went up, okay, and then it itself stopping around here. And you can see this is a BNB. This is a BNB followed by a CCRY. So this is it's a buy over here. And of course, if you purchase it, this is your entry, this is a risk. And you look at the price went up, it went up by at least 3 times. So if you have basically bought it, you have made money. I believe that Susan called buy over here, and of course, some of us make money, right? Then after that, the sell, right, it pulls back down and then it goes up. Now over here, there is no BNB here, so this kind of not supposed to trade. Then after that, the price did come down from the KTR plus 1. Now, of course, again, this KTR plus 1 do not carry any BNB, but because KSI is red in color, and if you want to take a short here itself, this way you can short, this is your stop loss, this is your range, and of course, the market did come down almost 2x, all right? So again, it does tell you that if you follow the rules in KSI, you're kind of okay. Then when the market come back down, it hits the OP level, and again, this is a BNB with a CCRY. Since the BNB is involved, you can buy over here and stop loss place here. And if you've done that properly itself, right, you may have about half an hour of downside and it may freak you out. But once the market found strength, the cash market is zoom all the way up itself. And again, the market giving you at least 2x profit to 3x, okay? So what does it tell you guys? Actually, our system itself, if you actually follow to the T yesterday, for the Dow on its own, you make a couple of X's on your own, all right? So this is what happened for the Dow yesterday. All right, everybody, if you're clear, please key number 1 right now. If you're clear with what I just shown you, please key number 1 right now. Okay, all right, thank you very much. Okay, so let's look at the gold market. Now, I know that some of you have texted me on the site and say, Cal, this gold is very frustrating. I can understand that. Yesterday, gold created a doji by closing, okay? So what happened? Yesterday, the gold traded a doji, all right, eventually, all right? The opening price was actually here. So the KSI was red in color, okay? We all know that, but we have a KCX at the bottom, so we're waiting for the color change over. But the thing is this, the market did cross pivot 1. And of course, above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. That is pretty natural. This is kind of expected. But you mustn't forget the KSI is red in color. So which means that the upside limitation will be KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 2. This is something that you cannot forget, okay? It's something that you must remember. You cannot forget that. So if you remember what I just shared, then you will know that what happened is the market itself, right? Once it goes up to KTR plus 1 or plus 2, there will be some profit taking, okay? So let's take a look what happened, guys. Take a look. So first of all, the market started to stabilize itself and went above OP. You notice that this is a BNB and it came with a CCRY. So by right, CCRY, BNB is a buy. And of course, it triggered OP, right? So it's a buy. And of course, at the same time, it went above pivot 1. So it's a combined buy because this is a classic trade. So because of that itself, this is a definitely mass buy, okay? MUST, okay? Now, the thing is, when I say mass buy means that, right, the probability of winning money is very high. So this is an entry, this is a stop loss, okay? That's what you do. So the upside itself, easily 2x's, okay? So that is the first trick that you had to go through. Okay, then after that itself, now, Cal, since it's above OP and above the pivot 1, is it classic trade? Yes. So if you buy a CCRY, anything wrong? No wrong. But Cal, how come it didn't go up? It go up a little bit and then it pulled back down and stop loss got triggered. Yes, indeed. Because why? The KSI is still red. Remember the day chart KSI is still red, right? So we need to go slow with our expectation. So what happened is that if you enter again over here, you may make some money, but before that itself, if you don't get yourself trade out, including myself, I didn't get myself do SWL, I really forget it, it was something on my mind. And then it came down, so you will lost about 3 times here. So you can see what happened, right? The market just didn't really go with the flow, all right? It didn't. But if you look carefully after a while later, right, when the market started to go above OP again, it did went up again. It did give you, and again, when it hit the KTR plus 1, that is where it hits a level and then come back down. So if you look at it itself, right, if you buy above OP, above pivot 1, and you buy, if you follow the KSI rule, you would have actually made at least KTR plus 1. Now, of course, at this junction here, you may want to aim at KTR plus 2, but unfortunately, the market just couldn't go any higher. All right, so traders, you have to understand this. Now, within these 2 trades itself, right, one of the key points is this, there is a KCX at the bottom of this here, And the market was coming down back then. And when the market recovered, there's a BNB over here followed by KCX, right? That's why this trade is also a very pretty good trade. So this one combines with all things that you need to have. Okay, got it? All right, so yesterday gold was not easy because end of the day it ended as a doji day. All right, so that means that today could be a directional day, right? Yeah, it could be. And if you look carefully on the chart right now, as I said, last few times, if you look at it, all the doji, okay, take a look. This is the doji, this is the doji, this is the doji. So if you look carefully, right, the last few times, the market did actually choose a direction. I mean, after the doji, if we choose upwards, there's some room for upside. You can see that. Yeah. So would this create upside room? I don't know. But if the market chooses to go down, then of course it may go down. All right. So traders, you just have to watch out for the opening price for today and tomorrow. All right. Just look out for that. Okay. So we have covered the yesterday's recap. Okay. Look at some local news right now. Wow. Angela Merkel alliance in a historic German election got beaten by the Social Democrats. Okay, the preliminary result shows that the the center-left Social Democrat actually gained 25.8%, and it basically won over the Angela Merkel right-leaning bloc. Okay, the Christian Democrat Union and Christian Social Union. Okay, so because of that, it's all right. Because you must understand, Angela Merkel is going to depart. Okay, after 16 years in power, I think she really want to take a break. And because of that, it's all right. The camp start to shift. Okay, you can see that this is the guy who won it. Okay, and the thing is this, because you must understand, the recent years the party has fallen out of favor with the younger German voters who are prioritizing green policies and want Germany invest in and modernize its critical industry and infrastructure. So in short itself, the younger generation is coming in, they want to have changes, they want to have changes, something like that. And this is always a big concern. All right. So the current ruling parties now that have been here for years and years, this is the biggest concern. All right. But again, well, time move on, everybody goes in. And of course, when Biden know about this itself, he said, I will be done. Okay. It's a very interesting quote from him. He's pretty surprised. Well, I think he should know. I mean, my point is this. But of course, anyway, they had to settle some stuff here because they have issues like the defense contract with Australia, the country withdrawal from Afghanistan. We're talking about the Europe side itself. Until to date, the US still do not allow the European travelers to go into the country. And this actually pissed some of the European country off. So they need to settle this problem. But you must understand that it's because that it's protect their own country. That's the reason why this is actually happening right now. Now, this is really incredible. Well, we all know that, right? Some of the federal officials, they actually, they have been buying some shares, right? So apparently now, right, the Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan is the second official stepping down. Yeah, just a couple of days ago, Boston Federal President Eric Rosendran basically also does that. So what's happening right now? Two of them were involved, okay, recently of having shares in their portfolio. They are now leaving their job, okay, and they're leaving earlier than expected, okay, because they were involved with some of the company like Amazon, Apple, Delta Airlines, and stuff like that. So definitely, right, the decision is kind of like, will, in the Federal meeting, will definitely influence their so-called portfolio. And because of that itself, they think, okay, let's just move on, okay? So this is pretty interesting, okay? And of course, Kaplan said that he did not do any wrong, which I kind of like agree and disagree in between. All right, anyway, what's happening right now is that Jerome Powell say, okay, we'll get the facts straight and we need to tighten up the rules and standards. But I just kind of don't really buy this. Don't tell me that for them, it's that he doesn't know about this. It's a big question mark. I think he said that when things get blown up into the media, right, and things get really crazier, then what happens? Usually things, happen like that. All right, so some market information that we need to look out for before we go to the charts today. Now, we talk about official message from the federal officials says that they expect a pullback in economic support, okay? Meaning they are looking at material tapering even if the inflation is cooling down. That is, they are saying that even if inflation is not there. So basically, it's all right. Some people are just speculating that maybe Federal Reserve doesn't know how sticky this inflation is. Well, Jamie Dimon, right, basically already say it's possible that the Fed could be forced to into a sharp move next year. So basically, there's a lot of news going right now and saying that, okay, you should know better than not, all right? So, but Jerome Powell basically warned Congress that inflation could last longer than expected, and he already cautioned that, okay? So the one that he said transitory seemingly is not going to happen because transitory means a short while, right? But now we're talking about he now felt that, right, this is going to last longer. And we all know that he knows it way to go. So probably, as I told you guys, when everything is ready, when the boys are all positioned themselves well, they have already liquidated their position and they are ready to go, most likely when they start to show you such a sign in the market, we know that the market may not be able to handle it in the nicer way. So traders, you need to be just a bit more careful and look at the market closer, all right? So according to Jerome Powell, he said that inflation is elevated and it's going to remain in the coming months before moderating. So of course, this is going to still be okay. He still thinks that after a while later, it will come back down. I don't think so. All right, so anyway, he will be testifying in front of Congress. It will be at 10 p.m. Singapore time later. Now, of course, when this is all happening, I told you guys to go into energy, and now you can see energy is now in play. Now, will this continue? Well, based on history, it will likely continue until the end of December. So that's why I'm still pretty bullish on energy stocks and energy itself. So you can see the energy stock this year, the index has been going up very nicely from $40 to about $50, up by about 25%. I believe that there's still a little bit more room to go up. So what are stocks to look out for? Now, first of all, Goldman Sachs raises its year-end Brent forecast to $90. So it was $80 initially, not $90. Now you go back time again in 2010, that was where Goldman Sachs says that you go to 90, then go to 100, then 100, then 150, then to 200. Remember the time? Yeah, those who remember the time when Goldman Sachs came in and tell you that the sky is almost a limit itself, right? Please key REM. All right, if you remember what Goldman Sachs says, just key REM. Okay, back then itself. And they say that because now they're pretty bullish because the demand deficit is going to be more than expected. The recovery in the global demand from the Delta impact is going to be way faster. And of course, the global supply, because of the current Delta issue, will go down, right? So demand increase, supply decrease, obviously price goes up. That's what they're trying to say. And of course, this BMO also came in and said that they are very positive with the North American oil, and they says that they are looking at Conoco, Devon, Pioneer, and ARC resources. Okay, they are saying that as well. Okay, and then after that, you also have this Bank of America. Bank of America says that they are looking at this further upside on crude oil exploration, Exxon, Occidental, APA, Diamondback Energy. So apparently itself, right? Okay. These guys are all looking to buy. Now, do note again and again, of course, when these guys are calling for buy, so at this timing, I'll say wait for a while, let it pull back first, then go back in again. Okay, because long term is upside, but you know, to jump in right now when the market's at the peak, at the high level for this strong, you just don't want to get caught right here. Okay, just go slow. Okay. Well, Fred, you're talking about the federal official, yeah, what to do? All right, now there's this guy called David Herro. All right, he's one of the investor. He basically thinks that it's a good time to go back into the market. He's from Oxmark International Fund Port Manager. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, he's saying that it's time to go back into Chinese stocks. Apparently, he says that Alibaba, Tencent, and this V-Shop, right, is a good idea. But of course, it's going to go big. He said that between 5 to 8% is kind of reasonable because he said that, you know, this level is very good and the risk is really taken care of and stuff like that. Now, I kind of agree at this current level, but a little bit more, maybe another 10%, a little bit more will be a bit better for me, in my opinion. Okay, just a bit more, all right? So that's my personal view. Now, Morgan Stanley says that, okay, the shares of this crypto bank is going to jump up by 50%. Wow, Silvergate Capital. No, so if you're not going to get into stock market, not to go to the gold market, and you think that crypto is the next move, then this is one for you, okay? So apparently it's not right. This Morgan Stanley says that this company called Silvergate Capital has an overweight rating. You know, always they don't count this overweight, underweight thingy. Overweight means that there's more to go, okay, and it's implying that this stock will go to $158 or 52% higher. Oh my goodness. So basically, they're saying that this company itself will do very, very well, and there's a lot of upside. So let's look at the chart-wise. Now, the chart-wise, yeah, okay, it was from $20. They pumped it up all the way to the high of $180. And then, of course, it basically sucked in loads of people here itself, and then bring the price down back to $80. The only thing is this, because it got sucked in, so many people in over here. Okay, they sucked in so many people here. The volume shows very clear. Now they're distributed downwards. It's back down to a base of $80. So I'm kind of thinking that anytime if we come back down to about $90, I would be more than comfortable to look at it. Okay, $90. Okay, but of course, do note the base is at $80. Okay. Now, if this is going to be able to stabilize itself, right now, logically speaking, the way it's moving right now and the chart movement, it's kind of expected that it should be able to go back to 170. So if let's say the stock price do come down to $90 to $80, right, then you can consider to look at this Silvergate. Okay, so Silvergate, sorry. So watch out for $80, $90. I think that there will be a bit better price to buy, and I do see going back to 170 by about 2 years' time when I see that cryptocurrency in my books will go much higher. Okay, so that's my personal view on this Silvergate. All right, so we have covered all the fundamentals for today. The news side, let's look at the charts now. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grr, and the landing though it could be different this time. Okay, let's take a look. There we go. So as usual, let's look at the China market. The Chinese market itself is still trading higher. Wow, okay. Now, yesterday we saw the Chinese market above the MLP, above MA30, so it was a very good buy, and you can see the China stock going up. Okay, so today the MA30 will be somewhere around here. Let me just bring it in. The MA30 for China A50 is about 15,154. Okay, the MLP will be somewhere around here, and that is about, oops, okay. That is about 15,265 range. Okay, so that is the that will be the range for today to watch out for. So it's above MA30, it's above MLP for now. So at the moment, it's kind of bullish for the Chinese stock market. Okay, all right, kind of bullish, huh? But if you look at it on another ground, you can take a look. Right, the market has been coming down overall. And yesterday, interesting, you can see pretty clear there is some form of resistance on the top part. Can you see that? This is point A, point B, point C, point D. So it seems that this actually shows a very tough resistance there. Right? This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. So you realize that B and C, right, when you do the gradient, it seems to fit perfectly. And D tried to break it but failed. So if today we have E coming up, example, and if you say you hit the E point, but it doesn't go any higher, it may bring it down all the way again. That's what we look at it. But of course, if the market can crack above the E point, then of course, who knows, we can see the market going much, much higher. Okay, so traders, watch out for the E point. So for trading, okay, all right, so that is the China A50. Let's look at the Hong Kong market this morning. Now, Hong Kong this morning, it actually kind of gapped down a little bit. Yesterday closed at 24,231. This morning gapped down a little bit, 24,211, but now it's trading a bit higher. Okay, so let's look at the market right now. Okay, so for China, for Hong Kong, sorry, Hong Kong, the current MA is on top here. MA 200 is way, way, way far away. So in short itself, right, the MLP for today is somewhere around here, and that is about 24,142 level. So which means that as long as the Hong Kong market stays above the MLP 24,142, the upside is still going to be there. Okay, 24,142. So as long as the market stays above that, this figure is okay. But because it's still below the MA30, right? So the bearishness is still there. And you look carefully, the bearishness seemingly is taking a toll on the market. So I will say this. If the market loses MLP, I kind of believe that the downside can bring the Hang Seng down to 23,000 level again. I think that it'll go down easily to 23,800. Okay, my personal take is this. If the Hang Seng loses MLP, there is a possibility for Hang Seng to drop all the way down to 23,800. Okay, that's my personal view in this segment here. All right, so let's see whether am I right? Okay, so traders do take note of that. That is my personal view of the Hang Seng chart today. Okay, so let's look at the Hang Seng versus has open. Okay, the Hang Seng day chart now with the TWB system. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand that today's the opening price is still a red bar and the KSI is still red. So that means that the downside pressure is still be there. Now, the last few days, if you look at it, the last few days, the market did try to go up above 4P. But because the KSI is all the way red, right? So which means that once you hit the KTR +2 or +3, you realize that the market pulled back. That means that anytime when the market goes higher, it seems to be there's some adding position, some selling coming into the market. So the market is trying to push it up, but the selling is just relentless. Okay, there's 2 points of it that's going to be happening. Number one, it could be because the foreign investors are still dumping whenever the Chinese government try to bring it up. We all know that now the retailers, no one really want to buy shares at the moment. So the retailers are not really the main buyer. It's the Chinese government or the Hong Kong government trying to push up the market. But every time when they bring it higher, right, somehow or rather, some people are selling it down even faster. And I suspect that this is the foreign investors doing that. So which means that if this is going to continue, this will create a bit of problem. So let me just speculate, okay? Let me just speculate in my opinion, okay? My own personal 3 cents worth of speculation. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me just get my cursor properly. Okay. All right, so you can see that right now, okay, we do a bit of hypothesis. The market have been going down, okay, so we all understand. Okay, that was because of the Evergrande thingy. Now, Evergrande thingy suddenly got so quiet as if that it didn't happen. So it's kind of scary though. Okay, then let's say we do a hypothesis and think that it is the Chinese government that came in to buy somewhere around here at the lowest point, and now they're trying to push to the highest point. So this is the range that we're seeing right now. This is the low, this is the high. So the range is down to 1,030 points, okay, 1,030 points. So I'm going to do a very simple bull expectation here itself, okay? Okay, so the thing is this, okay, let's take a look, okay. The high here itself is about 24,800, okay, make it simple, 24,800. The low here itself is 23,765, okay? So let's say this range itself is 1,030 points, okay? You know I'm going already, right? Okay, so we add up. So what happened is this. If let's say the market managed to have the funds to really break it, okay, and cross this point here itself, there is a very good chance the Hang Seng will go up by another 1,000 points. So 24,800 plus 1,030, you can get as much as 25,830, okay? It is actually possible. So now it's 24,200, right? Wow, we're looking about upside 1,600 points if that actually really happened, okay? So that one is the upside. Okay, downside, okay. Now, if the market really cracks down, that means that all the buying failed. That means that the foreign investors has the muscle and bring it all the way down south and then breaks down the low. And we have a problem here. 23,765 minus 1,030. Oh my God. The downside can be as much as 22,735. Oh my God, this is terrible. That means that if the Hang Seng really dives down, the Hang Seng can go down all the way to 22,735. Okay, so let's just open the polls today. Okay, this is A, this is B. All right, now guys, where do you think? Where do you think that Hong Kong will be going? How many of you choose A? Okay, in the near term. How many of you choose B in the near term? Please key your answer right now. I will see what's the consensus for today. There's 50 of you guys here right now. Let's just see what is the consensus, A or B. All right, I give you 10 seconds. Let's go. Okay, so what's the answer? Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. We have Jerry, Angeline, Fred, Henry, Anthony, Kelza, Brian, Noel, Janet, and John all choosing B. Only, sorry, Brian is A, sorry. And only Brian and Michael, they choose A. Okay, interesting. All right. So my personal view is this, okay? My personal view is this. I think I will go with B, all right? Now, not because that I'm a bear, but because I felt that when the market get resisted so often, and you can see that it's been resisted over the last few days, all right, if the US stock market really pulls back down because of the inflation problem, likely it's going to drag the entire world down at the same time. Yeah, that is where I chose B. But I would say this, okay? If the market really comes down to B, and let's say it really comes down to B at 22,735, this will be a very good buy. This is a good buy level, okay? Short term is a good buy. Okay, short term, good buy. Doesn't mean that it's a good, it's not going to say that it will be a best buy there, but it will be a good buy, all right, short term. Meaning that if it goes down all the way, hit this point, short term wise to buy is good. But whether can it sustain and go up again, I don't know. But at least that point, if you buy, can't be too far away. Okay, so I'm going to put these 2 points into my chart. Oops. Okay, almost missed it out. Okay, I'm going to put these 2 points onto my chart here. Remind me if I forget what it's all about. Okay, sometimes, already, you cannot remember everything. Okay, so I'm going to put the number in 25,830. Okay. So this is the level. Okay, wow, so precise. Wow, maybe this is a sign. I didn't know that. I just anyhow draw. Okay, okay. All right. Another level is gonna have it there. 22,735. Okay, I really didn't know that. Okay, I just anyhow randomly draw that number in. I didn't really expect that, and you can see that I really didn't prepare myself. Okay, okay, 22,735. Wow, not so accurate. I really tell you, I just draw numbers. I did just whatever I can draw in a chart, I just draw. Okay, I did not expect the number to rest down there. I'm not that perfect. Okay, trust me on this. Okay, anyway, maybe just by stroke of luck and coincidence. Okay, anyway, if this is gonna be like this itself, right? This will be the hall marker for now. Upside, you know where we go. Downside, where we go. Just take note of that. Okay, all right, pretty cool. All right, clear. Okay, so that is really an interesting sharing session. Interesting. Okay, let's leave it down there, and we're going to take away the line so that okay. All right, so we will know what to do. Okay, let's let market decide. Okay, we won't need to bother too much. Okay, so that is Hang Seng. Let's look at the Dow Jones right now for the day chart. Okay, now the Dow Jones day chart has a very interesting phenomenon. Okay, I want you guys to take note. Yesterday, we talked about Dow Jones, the MA30 level is 34,828. Okay, yesterday, do you understand? We have the MLP, we have the MA30. Look at it. Yesterday, low hit the MLP perfectly, as if that the market no MLP. Okay, and then after that, when it crossed the MA30, wow, it packed a punch there, and the market shot up. Let's look at the recap of yesterday. You can see that, right? Yesterday, this is really insanity, right? Look at it. Now, first of all, this is the market. The market opens and it starts to trade above the MA30. So it went up as it is. Okay, the blue one, the one to focus on the blue one. Okay, it went up all the way, right? Now, what was crazy was that after that, there was some profit taking. It came back down. It moved below the MA30. But what is insane was that when it came down, right, it hit the MLP as if that they recognized the MLP. The MLP is here. Yes, the MLP was here, okay? So the market hit the MLP point, stopped there, reversed, BNB, which I told you, BNB is all the big boys entry. I told you whenever you see BNB, you need to focus on it. And we see BNB at the day low of the day, you really can try and take a bet on this, or a punt on this. So what happened is the market hit the MLP brilliantly, did a BNB, and then what happened? That was a low, near the low of the day, and wow, look at the way the Dow shot up. The thing is that it went up by how many points? 200 points. 200 points in how long? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours, 200 points. That's a lot of money. 0.01 contract itself is $200. If you trade 0.1 contract itself, it's already $2,000. And the margin requirement is only $860. So for $860 margin, you could have made $2,000. That's a very, very good investment, all right? So dear traders, you really must think on how you play this game, all right? Anyway, so what happened is that the market shot up. and then after that, basically stabilize there before the profit taking come in. Okay, got an idea now? Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Okay, so now what do we expect to see from the US market right now? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, now first of all, okay, let me just bring it in to you. Okay, so first of all, let's just look at the US market today. Okay, now today, I'm going to bring it out again. Now you look at it, guys. When you go slowly, the MLP for today is somewhere around here, and that's about 34,830 level. Okay, write down for you, 34,830. Okay. Now, there's a few things to take note of. Number one, yesterday I thought that the Dow will actually come up to here to 35,108. That will finish up the 191. That will be pretty good. But it didn't. It missed up by a couple of points and came back down again. Then the thing is this, today you can see that the market actually went above the MA30, right? It went above the MA30 level. Okay, so what is happening right now is this. If I'm going to give myself in a bullish position, okay, what is going to happen is now the market broke above, then it pulled back down. It should stabilize at MA30, okay? If it stabilizes at MA30 and later on found strength, it may be going up to here. So I still think that there is a possibility for the Dow Jones to go up to 35,108, yeah, 35,108. It is still pretty possible. But of course, there's one thing that it has to stay above OP first for today. If the Dow Jones can stay above OP, that means you have tap on the MLP, which is what you're seeing right now. You also tap on the MA30. So today, if the Dow Jones stays above OP, right, there is a possibility for the Dow Jones to go up to 35,108. Okay, so that is the bullish side of the market, the bullish side. Now, how about the negative side? Okay, now we have got the negative side. Now, the market basically now is actually trading below the MLP. And it's very near to the MA30. So where's MA30 for today? Let me bring it to you now. The MA30 today is somewhere around here, and that is where the Dow is now holding on. It's at about 34,810. 34,810. Okay, I can write it down for you. The MA30 is 34,810. Okay, so what is holding on is this. If the market really hit 34,810, it must hold water. It must really hold water. If the Dow Jones cannot hold above 34,810, the gong will ring. And I will tell you that the gong should be ringing. Ding, 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 ding. Be very careful, okay? So I'll write it down for you guys, in my opinion, okay? All right, write it down for you. Dow, if it can stay above OP, expect upside towards 35,108. If it goes below 34,810, which is the MA30, there be some profit taking. Okay. All right, got it. This is my view on the Dow Jones. Okay. All right, of course, as usual, disclaimer. Very good. Okay, got it. All right. So as some of the Dow Jones can stabilize, then we could see some pretty big recovery again. But if the market really loses that point, then the selling may actually bring the market down lower. Okay. So traders, you need to really focus on the two numbers, 34,830 and 34,810. Okay, traders, kindly take note of these figures. Okay, yeah. Okay, hold on, just give me a short moment. Let me just do some messages coming in again as usual. Okay. Okay, message is done. Okay, we can see that the Hang Seng is recovering a bit. Let me just bring you to Hang Seng right now. Okay, Hang Seng. Here we go. Wow, Hang Seng is recovering fast. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, well, Hang Seng just blast up, okay? Hang Seng just blast up. And okay, now it's going up towards KTR plus 2, and KTR plus 2 is given. Okay, so what you have done earlier itself is that when the market, it's 5-minute chart, right? So this is a BMB, this is CCRY. So this is where you should be buying, okay, on the M5 chart. And of course, the first profit is KTR plus 1, which was triggered earlier. If not, KTR plus 2. And you notice that KTR plus 2 and the pivot is a stack. The KTR plus 2 is 34,366. The pivot one is 34,370. It's a stack of almost 4 points. So that's why the market will draw it towards it like a magnet itself. Just look at it, the KSI all the way were green, sorry. So it came down first because if the KSI is green, the buying was there. So the market reversed with the BMB straight away, you know, trigger all the stop loss and then go all the way up towards the KTR plus 2, aka pivot 1 also at the same time. So do you understand why the shrinking goes up, right? Because it's like cannot go down, the repel rate is there. So that's why you can see the Hang Seng is pushing up very, very fast. And I also expected that the China A50 should be trading higher. Let's take a look. Oh no, in fact, you see that? The China A50 is down. Oh my God. So that means that the Hong Kong itself is moving on its own, but the China A50 is not following through. See, that is the problem here. It didn't follow. Okay, question mark, right? But my point is this, I show you this is a resistant trend line that I draw. And also for Hong Kong itself, right? I also tell you that the MLP, as long as stable for MLP, the market will still be up. Remember this, you must always remember the rule, the market must stay, if the market stays above MLP, the market usually will still have to go up, even though there's downside pressure, the upside is still there, you have to follow through, and you can see that the market purposely followed through, and now we can see there's some resistance at this KTR plus 2, aka pivot 1 at the same time, all right? So traders kindly take note of that. So a very interesting movement today, this morning, okay? All right, so that will be for the market. Sorry to run the cost a little bit. Okay, so Dow Jones, I'm done. Let's look at the Dow Jones daily chart. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones daily chart, and today is kind of interesting. Everybody, please kindly pay attention to the next few minutes. Now, first of all, today the opening price is actually below pivot 2, so it's not a healthy sign. Below OP, below pivot 2 means that any CCYR later will be a sell. And of course, now we have one more extra thing is that the KSI is red. So the downside pressure will definitely be there once the market stays below OP. Okay, this is very, very important. Number 2, you notice that today the high is at 34,883, which is actually has triggered pivot 2 already. That means the pivot 2 has been triggered and then returned down. That means that if the market stays below it itself, right, any CCYR is a confirmed sell, it's already triggered. So it's not only just a classic trade itself, it's also a pivot trade at the same time today. Okay, so that's 2 impactful things to watch out for. Most important is that you notice that the market has been going up the last 4 days, but the KSI remain red. Okay, so everybody please take a note of this number right now, the low of yesterday. The low of yesterday is 34,775, okay? All right, the low of yesterday is 34,775, okay? So which means that, okay, if the market actually goes down, goes below 34,775, it goes below the day low of yesterday, okay? And with the KSI rate, this is actually problematic. That means that if the market ever goes down to 34,775, there is a possibility the market may pull back quite substantially. Okay, based on the history, we have seen this before. So who knows if it just happened again. Okay, all right. So traders, 34,775 is a very important level. The market has to stay above it for the upside to continue. Okay, clear? Right, if everybody clear, please key number 2 right now, 34,775. Okay? Okay, all right. So watch out for this movement, 34,775 level. Okay, okay, got it? Cool. Okay, so let's look at the Dow weekly chart. As you can see, the Dow weekly chart, we just started the week this week, so it's a bit early to call for it. So nothing much to worry about. Let's look at Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq, oh my goodness. Look at the Nasdaq, guys. Look at why we are going to introduce to you the TWB basic. Look at it. Now, yesterday, now please, see, there's a difference between moving average, you're using it as a pinpoint versus a moving one. You see, end of the day is that you look carefully on the visual ground. It seems that yesterday, the day high pierced past the MA30 and came down, right? That's what you can see visually. But if you remember, yesterday, I told you, right, the MA30 pivotal point, the key point is at 15,398. So which means that we all know that 15,398 is actually the point of the MA itself. So which means that, right, if you look back as a recap of Nasdaq yesterday, that means that, oh my goodness, look at it. Yesterday, the Nasdaq goes up. You can see the Nasdaq goes up, its opening price, it went up. It touches the MA30, couldn't go any higher. You can see that, it couldn't go any higher. It pulls back down. Then after that, it tries again. It tried to cross over it. It failed, and it pulled back, and the Nasdaq crashed all the way down. Oh my goodness. This is really crazy because all you do is this. You put a short level here. You put a stop loss lit here. Get the lot size. This is how many times profit? Oh my goodness. This is easily like 8x's. Imagine 8x's. Of course, we don't know what's the low of the day, but as the price goes down, you just have to shift. So imagine that if you happen to really hit the jackpot here itself and you sell the market and the market price really collapsed down as what you're seeing on your screen right now, then you will make some great money. You understand my point? You will make some good money. And of course, what happened? This is going to be very rewarding. So imagine you reach $100 or so. You will make $800. Wow. This is insane. Really, you understand my point? So that's the reason why is it so important to know the MA of the day, actually. And I can tell you this, guys, we are almost there already. I hope that this afternoon I'm in time to do our Super Tuesday. I will introduce to you this basic set. Okay, now this basic set one is ready. It's absolutely free for all students who are subscribers. Okay, that means that as long as you're an active subscriber to any indicator of ours, you will get to have this indicator for yourself. Okay, so that's why if you are an active subscriber, you will get this basic set. And this basic set, once you have it itself, right, if you can actually utilize this. I repeat, you can get to utilize this. Okay, it's pretty cool. All right. I saw the beta yesterday. I didn't like the feel of it because I'm quite, I'm a very visual person, okay? So I didn't like the way it was presented to me. I told the programmer to change that. Of course, we know the MT folk is very limited in terms of their way of showing, but when I just couldn't accept it, okay? So wait for a while. If today I cannot show it to you, then give me by this week. Definitely by waiting this week, I'll try to roll it out for you guys to enjoy it. And definitely you're gonna love it, okay? All right. So sorry I had to, again, go off tangent, but that's very important information. Oh my goodness. Okay, so today, what is the 4D number, the golden number? Now today, the MA30 itself is 15,370. It's kind of far away, so we don't really need to really be bothered that much, okay? The MLP is also a little bit far away, and it is a BNB at the same time. Now, there was a BNB previously, now there's a new BNB right here now. That means that there's two-pronged the market can be going, okay? Upside all the way to here, downside all the way to here. So I'm not too sure the market will go which direction, but I know that whichever side the market picks, I will know where to take profit. You see, that is more important, okay? Where the market goes, you will know where to take profit. You just have to follow through and make the right steps, okay? Got it? All right, so that's a Nasdaq for us today. Pretty clear. It's below MLP, below MA30, so traders do expect to have some downside at this moment right now. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq in terms of the daily chart. Okay, so Nasdaq daily chart itself, okay, you can take a look. The Nasdaq daily chart, we have a CCYR, which is a CCYR on a day chart, which means that the market expecting to go lower if we stay below OP. So at the moment now, it is trading a bit lower, below OP. So if the market do a CCYR, we expect some selling. But the problem is that the KSI is green, so that means that the downside will be limited. I repeat, the downside will be limited. So even it comes down, I kind of suspect that the support will be somewhere around here at 15,000 level. I repeat, there should be about a bit of support here at 15,000 level, which is kind of expected for the Nasdaq if it goes down. Okay. Now, if it goes above OP, right, no, there's nothing can be done because it will be under what we call it as the uncertainty zone. But because the KSI is green, right, if you want to take a gamble and buy, I won't stop you. Okay, but it must be above OP. That's very important. All right, if not itself, right, for Nasdaq today below OP, prefer to sell. Okay, prefer to sell. S&P 500, another classic case yesterday. The S&P 500 hits the briefing level at 44.64 and then pull back to close at 44.34, 30 points away from the MA30 level. So a quick recap once again, just to show you the impact of the MA30. Everybody take a look. So at the start of it itself, right, the market was above the MA30. So when it go up, yes, fine, the market buys up, no problem. Then after that, as it continued to go higher, it reversed down, and you notice this, when it came down, it stopped perfectly at the MA30 level, as if they didn't know it exists, tries again, couldn't go any higher, come back down. Once it broke the MA30, boom, the price came down. So again, this tells you that the MA30 is very, very effective, okay? Super effective. So for today, well, it's a bit far away, so we can't really use MA30 as an entry, but definitely as a guidance. So the MA30 is somewhere around here today, and that is about 44.59 level. The MLP is somewhere around here, and that is about 44.46 level. So in short, it's below MA30, it's below MLP for today market. So unless the S&P can go above MLP, if not, there's some downside lah. Okay, there'll be some downside overall. Okay. All right, and yeah, so why am I saying here? Okay, take it away, and we go with this. Okay, guys, so that is the range that we have right now for the S&P. So let's look at our TWB chart. S&P also below pivot 2, but KSI is green. So again, same thing. If below OP, there should be some selling because it's a below P2 trade. But because KSI is green, the downside limited will be KTR -1 to KTR -2. All right, you can see that basically almost every day I'm repeating and repeating and repeating myself, but that is how it works, guys. You just have to follow through and make it happen. Okay, cool. Okay, got it, huh? Okay, that's done, Dale. Okay, so we're done with all these already. We're done with the pivots. We're done with the stuff for the indices. Let's look at the DAX today. Now, DAX, okay, hold on. Now, I did share with you, some of you in the alternate market news, those who are subscribers, I told you that DAX should be some profit taking because more and more funds actually moving themselves from the German market, and probably because of this Angela Merkel thingy itself, they're giving a lot of confidence like here. So same thing again, yesterday I told you guys the MA30 is at 15,665, right? I told you that this is a very important level, 15,652 level. And of course, if you recap what happened yesterday on the German market yesterday, you can see that now. The German market basically was stabilizing above it. Then once it came down, you know that it touches it as if they know, they bring it up. Then once it loses it, that's it, the German market goes down. So again, the technicality, the accuracy is incredible. All you need to do is very simple. If you are taking a short trade yesterday, you just have to put a short trade somewhere around here, and stop loss just put somewhere around here. So this is your range. If it's wrong, it's above it, you just cut. If it's correct, you can see that it came down at least 2 times profit. You got it? So this is how you trade. It means that every time when you trade in the market, right, you want to have 2 times, 3 times profit, then you engage yourself into the market. If not, you don't trade. So that is very important. Okay? Cool, huh? Okay. All right, so for today's day chart itself, right, what do we have for today? Let's take a look. By the way, I see Hang Seng trading higher now, 24,430, and that also bring up the Dow Jones and Nasdaq off the low for now. Let's see whether it can sustain. Okay, so for today's, you can see the MA30 level is somewhere around here at 15,630. The MLP, okay, wait now. MLP will be somewhere else nearby. It's about there, also 15,635 level. So as long as the market stays above these 2 numbers, the market will go up. But if the market stays below these 2 numbers, then there'll be some more selling to come. And I think that the support level will be here. That is MA200. MA200 will be the support. Let me just bring down for you. That will be 15,400 level. Okay. So as long as the index stays above the MLP and MA30, it should be able to recover a little bit. But if it stays below, then 14,402 will be the first support. Okay, I kind of suspect that it will happen because it's also nearby the BNB SL level there. Okay, somewhere around there. Okay. Okay, so that is DAX. Let's look at Hong Kong. A quick one away on Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong is moving up pretty nicely today. Hong Kong, wow, it's above the. It's trading above the pivot 2, pivot 1 right now. It was resisted earlier, but once it broke through, that was it. That was where it pushed itself higher. Okay, kind of expected that. Okay, let's look at the China A50. Okay, wow, recovery. See, China A50 has also recovered. That's also the reason why the Hong Kong market cannot go down. Okay, so these are the few things that's happening right now. Okay, let's look at the Nikkei. Okay, Nikkei. Now, Nikkei is down today. Nikkei is down today. Why is that so? Likely we have the, let's look at the dollar, let's look at the yen this morning. Let's just be a short one at the yen this morning. Yeah, let's bring the yen in a short one. Yeah, but the dollar is going up. So it should be that should push the Nikkei higher. So something is wrong today. Okay, interesting. Okay, never mind. So the Nikkei is down at the moment. Probably some profit taking is happening right now. The MLP for today is somewhere near here. It touches MLP. Very nice. Look at it. It touches MLP on the day chart. See that? It touches MLP. Then it basically goes below the MLP. And now it's coming off quite a fair bit. Okay. So again, it shows that the market itself has fine on its own. As long as you follow the chart wise, you should be fine. Okay, just keep it, guys. Just send some important messages as usual. Okay. All right. So the Nikkei is down quite a bit, right? The Nikkei is quite down quite a bit. So traders, you can consider for those who have shorted, you can cover back some of your position. Okay. Okay. Let's just defend this thing. Just give me 30 seconds, I guess, and just text this message to send up. Okay, done. Thank you. Thank you for waiting. Okay, so let's look at the Nikkei. I have mentioned to you, I believe that the Nikkei is going to trade lower. It should be able to come down to this point here, which is the MA30, and that's 29,775. That is my view on the Nikkei. Okay, it should be coming down here. Okay, the MA200 is quite far away, so we'll not speculate that. Okay, I believe it will come down here. So I write it down for you. I believe that the Nikkei is going to come down to here. And that is 29,780 level. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, 29,780. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's look at the Nikkei in terms of the day chart. Oh, no wonder. You see that? The Nikkei is up, but then today it broke below the previous day low and it's below P2, right? Below P2, below OP, CC, YR is a sell, but because KSI is green, so the downside will be limited to KTR -1 to -2. So you look at the Nikkei this morning, you can see that very nice. Beautiful, man. Exactly as per what we just said in us looking at the market. This is the OP of the day, and you can see that the P2 is here. So which means that once the market do a CCYR below OP, below P2, it's a sell. And because you know it's a sell, you can aim at KTR -1 because that is the first TP level. And aim at ATR -2, that is supposed to be the level to watch out for. And you look at it, the market hits this point and stop there, as if that the market actually recognized KTR -2. So guys, this is Nikkei and it's Japan. I have never went to Japan in my life. I really want to go there one day. And more important thing is this: we have not traded any Japanese stock. We don't know the Japan government intention, but our system is just able to pick it up, trade accordingly, and profit from there itself, as if that it's a trading Hang Seng or trading the Dow Jones or gold as per normal. So now you understand why itself this really TWB system can really go a lot of places as long as we really take our time into this. Oh my goodness, this is really insane. All right, guys. And I've been telling you this, if you want to trade any market that's a little bit more gentle, my personal view is trade the Nikkei. I already told you this, my personal view is trade the Nikkei. It's much more directional, less flamboyant compared to Hang Seng. Really, I'm not kidding you. Spend some time on a Nikkei chart if you have to, meaning the normal black and white candle. Take a look at 15-minute chart. You will realize that it's kind of much easier as compared to the trading the other market in terms of not subtle, not less being those up down crazy movement. Okay, then go and take a look. Okay, anyway, that's my view. All right, so that is Nikkei, and that wraps up all the indices. Let's look at the commodities market right now, which all of you is waiting for probably. Okay, so let's take a look at what happened. Wow, very interesting thing. So let me just do some redrawing first. Okay, first of all, I take away all the lines. Okay, guys, so first of all, we can see that the gold price is still lowering, but, okay, and the MA30 is on top, the MA200 is on top, so we have very bearish stand position right now. It's below MA30, below MA200, it's very bearish at this moment right now. Okay, very bearish, huh? But at the same time, you must understand today is a very different, very unique day. Today is a doji day, and likely we're going to see a directional day. And also, if it stays above OP, it's a buy. Below OP is a sell. So I would like to let you know that the last time we see a doji formation, we do see movement. We do see movement. And of course, you take it as a very near memory. We have a doji about 2 weeks ago. And then after that, doji happened, the market went down first, so we thought that the gold will go down, right? Remember? And then after that, suddenly the gold recovered pretty strongly and then stays above OP. And of course, it went up by quite a fair bit. So it's almost like up by $30 in 3 days. Okay, got the idea now? So would this actually repeat? I will tell you this, follow the flow with OP. If the market stays above OP, just buy. That's all. I repeat, if the market stays above OP, you just have to stay buy for gold, okay? If the market stays above OP, stick to the buy side for gold and let it run, okay? I don't know how high will it go, but you can just consider to do that. Above OP, stick to the buy and let it run, okay? All right, because this is what's happening right now, happening in gold. So traders who are into gold, you can watch out for what they say, okay? Go into that. Okay, so doji, okay, doji directional day. Remember, doji directional day. It could happen just today, okay? It could really happen. So traders, please stand by yourself for this. Just give me a minute, guys. Again, messages coming again, and asking me whether gold can buy, and I tell them say that yes, indeed, gold can be a buy because of it's a doji directional day. Okay, all right. So you got the thing first hand from me at the same time, huh? Now, some of you ask me, who are the students? How did they do their own analysis? Well, these are the students who actually been trading, and unfortunately, it's all right. Probably they got hit some time ago, and they lost a little bit in direction. They need some help, and that's where I'm offering the help to them. Yeah. So that's why everybody help one another. Hopefully, that everybody will benefit out of it. Okay. So this is what I'm doing right now for students. Okay. So you can see that I'm pretty into helping students whenever I can. Yeah. Give me a moment. I was done. Had a few messages this morning. Now, because you, as an educator, I have to help because some of them they are really very lost. They really need some extra help here and there. So my job is to provide them this extra help. So if you think that you need extra help yourself, right? You just contact me on the site. I can also assist you whenever I can. Yeah. Okay. A bit more to go. A few more messages and I'm done. Okay. Whew. So many messages. More than 50 messages. Okay. Yes, really, more than 50 all coming in asking me about gold messages, asking me what good gold, going buy more gold and stuff like that. And my message then say that it's a doji directional day. We just have to follow the call to action. Yeah. Okay. Done. Oof, finally. So sorry, guys. Okay. So we have that, right? That is first thing. Now, where would the gold be going up first? Okay. Where will be gold going up? Well, first of all, if gold goes up, right, the first target I told you will be 1762. Okay, 1762. Thank you, Angeline. And I mean, I want to help. That's all. Okay, I don't get any money from there. Really, I don't get any money. I really don't get any money. I mean, people give me ang pao, I'll just take to give to my children education and well-being. But I never ask that I must give me much money. I leave to them to decide. Yeah, so 1762 will be the target for gold. Okay, if let's say gold is to go higher, right? 1762 will be my target. So today now it's 1753, right? So which means that if let's say today opening price is 1749, right? Okay, so now it's 1753, right? Okay, so it's very simple maths here, guys. If you think that the gold will go up, you can buy right now. Yeah, buy right now. And aim for 1762. So you get about $9 profit. Now your stop loss, you just put at 1748, okay? So which means that your downside is about $5. So your upside is $9. Your upside is $9, your downside is $5. So which means that, right, it's about 2 to 1 to 2 ratio. That means that every $1 risk, you get about $2 profit. Decent one, right? It's a very decent risk reward ratio. Okay, I repeat, that's only if you believe that the market is going to go up. Okay, if you think the market will go down instead, then you wait for a while. Okay, if you think that the price is going to go down, let it go below OP first, then you trade. Now, someone did ask me before, Cal, if let's say I expect the price to go down and the gold is trading higher right now, right? Why don't we just short it right now and then we get a better buffer, more profit and stuff? Well, that is looking from the profit point of view. But if the market is above OP and you are shorting above OP, right, that means you're asking for trouble because above OP is an up market, right? Unless you're so confident that the price will go down. So for me, I'm not confident it will go down. Instead, in fact, I'm very worried because now we can see that the yields is going up at 1.5%. And Jerome Powell already coming out and tell you this. Now, tonight and tomorrow, when he will testify against the Congress, before the Congress, I believe the Congress will give him a lot of problems. And if you let's say anytime you say things that's not going to be any positive to the market, right? The market will catch hold of that, and of course, there'll be a problem. Now you can lie about a lot of things, but you cannot lie about inflation because inflation is genuine. Because if you basically is right, if your shampoo costs you $5 today, and about 2 weeks later it becomes $6, you know that it's inflation. It's not that because the store holder want to make an additional 20% profit. It's inflation. And if that is coming into the system, obviously you need to pay for it regardless, right? So I believe that the upside will lead on the gold to go higher, okay? I believe that gold will go higher because of this, okay? So you make your own call. I have given you my take, you decide, okay? Now, in terms of the long-term trend line, you can see that very strongly the 1820 is a very, very stubborn, strong resistance. So for gold itself, right, even if you go past 1762, the real challenge is 1820. But I believe in this when there's there's a huge obstacle on top. Usually after a while later, if the market goes towards it itself, right, it will break through. Yeah, that's how I see it. Okay, all right. Anyway, I've given you my view on gold already. You can make your own final decision. Okay. All right. Well, still got messages coming in. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. I think please kindly trade on your own. You should know what to do. All right. I cannot always be with you. Okay. All right, so that is gold. Let's look at the gold daily chart. Okay, wow. Okay, I've been seeing this is our flash on the comment box just to double confirm. Indeed, you're correct. Cheng Kui and Anthony, today is an inverse pivot for gold, inverse pivot. So let me explain to you about this gold. Kindly pay attention to details. Now, when it's inverted pivot, that means that the pivot power, the strength will be doubled usually. So very simple. If the market goes up above pivot 2, it will be very strong. It should be able to go up all the way to 1767, which is my TSCB level. Now, 1762 is the FIBO number. So this means that if you can go to 1767, so obviously 1762 will be taken out easily. But because the KSI is all red and the blue bars are still all there, if the market rejects 1752, that means that if the market cannot cross pivot 2, cannot stay above pivot 2, sorry, and then stays down below pivot 2, this may bring gold all the way down to here itself, and that's 1724. So that is also another reason why some people are getting a bit bearish. They say that who knows may go down. So I'm going to say that front here. We have a doji formation, right? Okay. So please understand this. Today plus is an inverse pivot. So if it stays above OP, it will go up towards 1767. Okay. If it goes up, it should be going here. But if the market goes down, then the downside could bring it all the way to 1724, okay, for today. So today with doji, so likely there's a potential of directional day, upside 1767, downside 1724. Now, of course, you may say, okay, then the downside got more potential, right? Then we should sell. Yeah, but that's on the pretext that the market stays below OP, then you can sell. The market must stay below OP, then you can sell, and not because that it is, downside or more meat, right? You sell. That's not the way to do this. So please understand how to utilize today's goals, this goal potential. Alright, so use it wisely. You should be able to make some decent money today. Okay. Yeah. All clear. Okay. Silver. Now, silver, I already told you, you can start to accumulate some silver already, and you can see that it's actually kind of like consolidating around here. So my view on silver will be this: it's now still below MA30, below MA200, so the bearishness is there. But as long as silver can hang around over 22, I think it's a good price to look at it. So today MLP is $22.49, and the market really touches it and recovers. So that's again another good sign that the silver price should be able to trade higher. So my view is that silver should be able to go higher as long as gold also move up. That's what you saw. I believe silver will test back $23.20 level now. Okay, so now it's $22.65, like a stock sell, right? You can buy it up and aim another 60 cents profit. That's pretty decent. All right, that's about 3%, right? Pretty cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's silver. All right, let's look at crude oil. Now, crude oil is continuing to rally. Wow, yesterday crude oil gap up, continue pump up, and I told you crude oil should be able to go to $75.76. We are just 20 cents away, $75.76. We are just probably 20 cents away from that level, right? So I've been telling you this is why it's so powerful to use the MA itself. And then after you use MA, look at it. Wow, gigantic move, all right? That is really about $5. $5 is $500 for every one single contract. That's very good money, all right, guys? And the margin requirement is very low, okay, because of the leverage involved. So get the idea? Okay, so that is the crude oil. And of course, if you look at the chart wise for crude oil. Now, today's crude oil day chart is also pretty decent. It's between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. So which means that the market itself, right, as long as stable OP, it should be able to go to pivot 1, and that's $76.64. Okay, it'll be higher than my expectation, but it doesn't matter. As long as I hit my expectation, I'm happy with it, it's good. But what is more important is this, guys. Look at it. When the price was coming down here, traditional indicators like stochastic, your Bollinger Bands, your RSI, all of them are going down. Go and check it out, you will know. But when you see that happening, you see the market itself, the market didn't go down. In fact, the KSI stayed green. And by staying green means that the market buying is still available. So that's why after a while later, it hit the cage. In this case, recovers and now goes even higher. So that is a very telltale sign that you need to have the KSI to really tell you where the boys are hiding or what they're trying to do. And you just have to follow through and trade accordingly. All right. So that is the crude oil for today. All right. So I've covered the commodities too. Now let's look at the cryptocurrency to wrap it up for today. Let's take a look. Now, of course, we know that China is definitely giving a lot of problem to the market with the cryptocurrency space, but at the same time itself, they are one of the biggest buyer holders in the market. Okay, so it's quite contradictory and quite, you find it very like, without feeling. Okay, so anyway, my view is this. For Ethereum, right, I still think that Ethereum will have to go down to this point at 2,700 for it to find a base. Because first of all, if the KSI is still red in color, and today is at pivot 2 level, so with the blue bar still down there, I think we need to have a bit more selling to bring down to 2,700 so that traders will find it much more attractive to buy. Okay, that's my current view for Ethereum. Now for Bitcoin, I told you that, right, we should see some form of resistance in Bitcoin, and apparently it's happening right now. It's still at 42,000, and today the market is now today got no pivot. I repeat that today got no pivot for this Bitcoin. So which means that if it goes down below OP, right, means no pivot means follow OP. The downside, I say the first target is 40,000, second target 39,000, but my real target is at 30,000. I still believe that the Ethereum or the cryptocurrency space as a whole will have about 10% more to drop. And when you drop to that level itself, like they say Ethereum, that Bitcoin would hit 38,000 plus. I think that's a very good price to go in to buy, because the uptick in my book is still 62,000 for it itself. And of course, it may go higher to about 83,000 by next year. Okay, this is all my target for this year and next year. Okay, all right. So traders, take note today. As long as market stable below OP for Bitcoin today, it's a sell because there's no pivot. All right, if it goes above OP, you can buy. You can do it. Just be careful. All right, there's a lot of traders now looking for this. Okay, all right, so that it will be what I have for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that will wrap it up for today. Okay, wrap it up for today. Now today is Super Tuesday. All right, as I say, I will try my best to get the basic set up ASAP. If I get it up, we'll talk about this. If I can't get it up itself, we'll talk about something else. Don't worry, I'm sure we have a lot of things to talk about to each other. Okay. Okay, that will be all for today, MAO. Hopefully you like it. I give you a few views on the gold market. I tell you about the Dow market. I'll tell you about the Hang Seng market today. Quite a bit of stuff. Hope you like it. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.